Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you are returning. It is the Daily Color. This is Tracy with Color Me This. I am out in my screen room watching Bubba the dog, who just came back from doggy world and is soaking wet from jumping into the doggy pool. We have an overcast day. It's about 74 degrees and it is a little after 10 in the morning, so it's an earlier start for me than yesterday was. We are continuing on in our neon boats. This is what I did yesterday. I do have 3 extra colors for this boat and 2 colors for the boats up above, because I'm hoping I will make pretty quick work of this boat to finish off the Brutfuner set, Brutfuner 520, so I can go back and do a little bit of improvements to the other boats. So we may hear Bubba today. We will decide how he is. He's pretty calm at the moment. I'm going to grab my 6 color blend. Let me know what you guys think of me using neon colors. It's definitely a new experience for me. I'm probably going to be making myself do some fantasy type coloring with these now that I see how good both the Prismacolor and the Brutfuners are. I do owe you a color, like a swatch review of the colors that come in the Brutfuner, because there are quite a few more colors than you get with the Prismacolors. I'm still really loving this set. As I said, have said, I did not know how I would feel about so many colors because I tend to be a light layer color mixer, but it is really fun. I really enjoy using lots of colors. Now we'll see how good I do here on the little rainbow on the side of the boat, because I have not mocked this one up. So we will see if I can correctly allocate 6 colors on the side of this boat. Not overdo it and not underdo it. I just got done watching the weather forecast, keeping an eye on the mid-Atlantic. Invest 94L that I believe will become Tropical Storm Nicole is sort of where it's going. There are still a couple of the models that say it could be a low-end hurricane, but mostly tropical storm. It's going to hit land way before it hits Florida, and if it even does make it all the way to Florida, it will likely be just the very southern tip of it, the peninsula at the very bottom. So I think, folks, we're in the clear for this one. There's then the weather that's now down south of the Gulf Coast, and it doesn't seem to be doing too much either. Now keep in mind, Milton wasn't doing much, so I still say that with a grain of salt. Okay, and then our last line gets to be orange. Now let's brighten things up a bit. can see that I will need to widen the blue. Today, my vision, I am sitting up tall. I should explain. I am sitting in a chair. We had dinner out here, so we set up my big table. So yeah, I'm sitting up straight and tall, not relaxing in my recliner. It might be that I get to do most of my coloring, not quite relaxing. I could later today, maybe. So I think I counted, and I will show again as I promised to show you guys the color palette at the end. There are a dozen neons, and the set is numbered. The thing I really like about this set, it is numbered 1 through 520 in a good enough color family order that I've just, oh hey, and the AC turned off. Now I don't have to yell. So it's in beautiful color family order the way it is, with the numbers already the way they are. I am even okay that I had to put my numbers on so I could see them. Some of these numbers over here, all the way over here. Let's see, can you read that? But they're very faint, and you can only see them because I put white ink in them. They're okay, but a lot of them were very hard to read, so I just committed to writing on every single one when I first did my swatching. Again, these take a little, so the prismas on this smooth paper compared to the copy paper take a little more work to get rid of the tooth. Oops. I'm gonna have to see that line in the blue. That's a mistake. But these are about the same, maybe a tiny bit more time consuming. Just a little. And that orange that you're seeing is not as vibrant. All right, I had to do a little treat session with the dog. Okay, that looks a little overexposed. I am going to pause and fix that. I don't know why it... All right, I have fixed the lighting. We are back to blue. Sorry, we had to have a doggy moment. Anytime he gets too bad, I will take a pause. We did some tricks. I gave him some treats. Okay, moving on. So I've got my rainbow. I'm going to do the top of the cabin above the metal panels in the rainbow. So it's going to be pretty small. I will have it in the angles like its neighbor here. Starting in the bottom with the yellow. I will be roughing it in first to make sure everything fits. I get to decide which two colors those flags are going to be. And I think I can make this a little wider. I'm thinking. Thinking. That green is awfully skinny, I think. Gonna thicken that up. So if you guys maybe not remember, we set up a birdhouse. Didn't even think about whether or not there really are birds here. We hear birds. I'm hearing them right now. But that doesn't mean they're the kind of birds that would get close to a house, because this is a nature preserve, so they're very much wild birds. And we put the bird house up. No birds. No birds. A couple of squirrels. Had to adjust the pole it was on to further squirrel proof it. Then we have had 3 or 4 of this. I think it's the same bird has come back. But then the hurricane happened. We had to take it down for the hurricane. It is not back up, and I noticed the other day some birds swooping down to the ground, seemingly below it. And so I think the birds that had visited it, now we're not in the house all the time, so it's not like we know every single bird. We really need to put a trail cam in our back. Someday we will get one of those set up. Oh, I think I did okay. I do think the yellow is too narrow, but it'll be okay. And this orange is a little bit lighter than the Prismacolor. I should also say that today I looked at my collection of the neons, which are in a case, and I found the orange Prisma in it somehow. Accidentally, it got placed there. Can you imagine how long and hard I would have to look to find it? So I'm so glad I found it. It's not that I plan on being a regular user of the neons, but I still would be really disappointed if I was looking for them. Speaking of which, I told you guys that I thought my 180 set of the Color had neons. I was wrong. So I was going to do the last 2 boats with the Color 180s. They only have metallics. But I found another set. It's kind of fun to learn. It really helps doing this coloring like this. Really helps you get to know your pencils. My Erogitons have neons. So it's only 100 set. That's all you can get. It's a little weak on the grays. So I have picked my colors for moving on to the Erogiton boats. I was just really fortunate that I came up with another set that had enough neons. I just need a yellow, but I need a hot pink, I need a vivid blue, I need a purple, and it pretty much has all of those. And I have actually been impressed with the Erogitons on this paper, as well as the copy paper. So I'm kind of excited to be challenged with those tomorrow. All right, so we've got the cabin done. I could go darker on the purple. I see a tiny bit of tooth. I see a little bit of tooth up here in the pink. I'm doing swirls now, little ovals to smooth it out. All right, next I've got silver or the grays. So I have the 3 lighter grays right here, same as yesterday, but I've also introduced, I want to do more shadows. So I've got 2 new, Tempest and 9 Iron, 465 and 440, that I'm going to set aside, because if I'm going to do this boat with the darker tones, I need to darken up the Prismacolor boats and the other boat, and that's what my extra little bonus time will be. So I am going to start by coloring this the same as I colored the first boats, Then I will come back in at the end and do the darkening. I have some shadows here. I was worried today with coloring that it would be lawn mowing day, and it actually may be that they did the very end houses. Now I hear something starting up, which may or may not be related to lawn work. But I'm glad I don't hear anything so far. I actually did not share with you the color combos from yesterday. They will be on the description. I have not hardly used this light gray. All right. I did go darker. I'm comparing this work to the one next to it. I like the little corrugated looking bits. I think I like that a little bit better than the design on the left boat. Now I want to do a little bit of this is actually white trim, but we will make it shadowed. This particular boat has rope, so I did pick out 2 little browns for doing the rope. Okay. And I think I will leave the railing white. All right, I had to readjust. I clicked a wrong button. So we have one little window. It's a portal. And Ocean Depths is the color 281. Anyhow, so I was saying that the colors will be up on the description for yesterday and today, since I did these 2 boats in 2 days. All right, so there's the porthole. Yesterday I started with the water. Today I haven't done the water yet. Again, these barrels on the water are especially not very well. The barrels don't match so well. I'm going to start with the dark. So I am already, and I'm probably months away. I haven't even checked the count of how many pages I've done in this book. I have slowed down. You know, as I was approaching the middle, I sped up, and now I've slowed back down, wanting to really enjoy every single page to its fullest. And I have not been burned out on any of the pages, but I'm already moving ahead. It's like, what am I going to do next? What mini, easy to complete variety coloring book has to have variety? I think I would get burnt out if it was the same type of content. Like, I do not want just dragons or just animals. I just like this the varied content. that's in this book. So something like this book, probably picking it up early next year, and I might even be slowing it down. If I can't find a good book like this book, I will pick a few to rotate through. So I'm not too worried should I not find something like this. Not exactly like this. And I like the details. I don't want it to be an easy book. I don't even know if I did a really super easy type coloring book, that in itself would be a challenge for me. So I might eventually have one on hand or two, but I wouldn't want to color in that every day. I also was thinking maybe I'll want a smaller book. This book is 82 pages. That's a lot, especially since I do swap pencil sets out within a page if it has a lot of small images. Okay, so that's looking good. I'm going to grab this orange back again for the life rings. I did grab a darker orange red. I'd also have an eraser because I see I got a little bit messy right here with the purple. That purple. And I know that these are not as inclined to smush, but I want this bright orange to look pure. All right, browns. Then I get to figure out the flags. So I'm just going along with the lighter brown first. I didn't pick a third brown, that just didn't seem necessary. And then the dark brown will be these shadowy areas. I need my glasses on. I started to tell you guys my eyes today are not as good as they were yesterday. They do change. I also am doing a very small space. So when I had to leave and come back, I accidentally hit the wrong button. So I have to remember the math of what the minutes were when I closed out the last video. Usually I just pause and then recontinue. All right, so there's the rope. I have two colors to pick. Two colors. I think I'm going to do maritime type colors. Seahawks colors from my old football team. I haven't even picked a football team. We don't even watch TV anymore, so we don't watch football. But in Florida, there are 3 teams to choose from. So I'm thinking Jacksonville because that's closest to us. Tampa Bay, though, is also quite close because it's just a straight shot across. I think each is about 2 hours away. I should probably figure that out. Oh, he's woke up. He has woke up. I'm going to do my first addendum. I've grabbed a new color. It's called Bright Red. It's a very orange red. And I need to darken up. And I'm going to sharpen this too, because these are small images. So I need to darken up the life rings. I'm going to darken up the bottom line of the boat. And then I'm going to sneak over to this boat and darken up the buoys. Now this on the very bottom here actually goes to yellow. So I'm darkening the whole line. I almost now, in hindsight, think this is a closer match. Look at the brightness of the Prisma. So I actually feel, and I did toy with this versus the bright orange. Okay, then our next little tweak that I would like to make, I have these two darker grays, 9 Iron and Tempest. And get a little more detail and the shadowing. Let's see how long that lasts. Okay, so that's the shadowing with the not as dark gray. And I'm going to move to the next boat. I want to make them all, then I'm going to move up. Before I go with the darkest gray, I'm going to go up and do the Prisma in its darker gray, not the darkest. Get some shadows going here. I'm a little bit far away today, so I find that shadows really make a picture. I even, on fantasy type pictures, like more shadow. Let's see how this looks if I... I've decided that this is actually just an overhang. It is not an interior space, it's just a covered space. Okay, so that's with this medium Tempest. The next darkest I have not committed to yet. That is 9 iron. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to grab now the 70% cool gray in the Prisma and move up to this boat first. And just go around and add some. I think I said on the first day when I did this one that I wanted this and this edge of the roof to be darker. Oh, this is Prisma. They're very soft compared to the Brutfuner. So we're sharpening this up. And these are teeny tiny areas. I should have glassine, by the way. I'm all over these boats. If the second row were Prismacolor, I would absolutely be using glassine. Yeah. I'm in that focused mode. I'm very quiet. Okay, next boat. This funky looking boat. these little images, you actually, if you're doing all of the shadows, they can get quite detailed. Okay, so now we are going to grab... It overexposed on me. I had to do a little tweak, and I have picked up the darkest Prismacolor. I'm going to be very careful with this, so it's super sharp. It is the 90% cool gray. And we're just going to see if I can do any little bits. That's how you gotta be really careful with these Prismas. The most common error in animal portrait or nature drawing is stopping too soon. I use my husband as a gauge. He'll always darker, darker, go darker. So he is my shadow gauge person. Coming over here to this side now. Very, very careful. Forgot to do this one part. That might be too dark for that. I'll go back with the lighter gray on the flags. Now, I do have a brush today. I knew I was doing this exercise, and I don't want to get black crumb marks. Alright, so what do you guys think? Did I need to do the extra effort of those two darker grays? So that is what the Prismacolors look like. I'm gonna now grab the darkest gray, Tempest. Tempest? Where is it? Nope, it is 9 iron, right? 9 iron. Okay, so this is the one I am going to now come down here. It needs to be sharpened. And I'm going to try to get into these little tiny corners. I hope my head isn't sticking in there. Trying to get as close as I can. Okay, don't know what that was. It is here in front. Who's that, Bubba? Nope, we might have a little wine going on. Alright, so there's the darker. The sun, I hear... I do not know whose vehicle that is. That is not one of ours. I just grabbed one of the lighter colors. I grabbed slate. Darkest of the 3 lighter ones I used first. Gonna have to clean up the flags. I think that's it for that boat. Oh, that's me hitting it. Last boat. We've got this one. Let's see how we do on this one. All right, let's see. Ooh, it's so much quieter. Oh, it was the FedEx guy. All right, we are so close to done. Bubba's patience is waning. We've gone over our 40 minutes, I believe. 45. Again, a little bit more tooth that I can see here up close with the Brutfuners. The little resist, when I try to draw a line really close to the black lines, I get a little bit of a shadow white line. I have cleaned those up. Oh. And I think I'm going to call these done. And tomorrow we will move on to the erogetin. Before I go, I owe you. Here's the 2 Brutfuner boats with the shadows added. I am going to set this aside, grab my swatch. We can move out. So I have a dashed line for the end of the metallics. The bottom 3 here are not metallics. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 metallics from here to here. So they are all lovely, and here's what they all look like. The barrels are not the best on all of them. Let's see if I move this away. All of them are vivid colors, and a few of the barrels, actually, I think 3, here's the argon oil. I don't even know what that means, but it is a dark greeny purple. We have pastel green, so that's not one. Nostalgia rose. I don't even see, the nostalgia rose is like a brown. I don't even see it here. And then I'm putting back in the 3. So those are the 12. I don't even know how many sets have 12 neons. I know I saw that Brutfuner has a set of neons, like a 80 set of neons. I'm gonna have to consider getting a neon set, and I think I can get it from Temu. So I'll have to investigate that, because I am enjoying these, and it will really help me to get my fantasy illuminating purples, blues, and greens. So on that note, do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and consider subscribing, and we will be back tomorrow to do the last 2 boats with the erogetin. Hope to see you there.